Hi everyone, Juju here, and welcome to Juju's Collectibles Corner. Today I'm going to do a little video here on the new comic books, kind of a preview of the new comic books that are coming out on May 14th. I use League of Geeks. I am a member of this website. I catalog my collection on here as well for on the desktop. I also use CLZ, the app. One of these days I'll probably just merge everything to CLZ, but that's another video for later to talk to you guys about. So let me go ahead and switch over. All right, so this is the League of Geeks new comics page that lists everything for May 14th. Well, everything that they have access to of what they can find that is coming out on May 14th of this year. So, of course, first off, you got your big books that are going to be right up here at the top. Of course, you got the new Absolute Batman, Ultimate X-Men, Transformers, Uncanny X-Men. I don't know how many times they're going to re-release the X-Men. I just wish they would have just kept it going, but it's crazy these days. I didn't even know that there was an Ultimate Black Panther, and they're up to book 16 already. So that means it started last year. You got Miles Morales Spider-Man. If you see me looking to the left, it's because I have it up on my big monitor so that I can see everything quite well. My laptop screen is kind of small. You got One World Under Doom, Wolverine, Daredevil, Spawn, the Immortal Thor, Battle Beast, which is from the Invincible universe. Got some X Factor here for those who who grew up with those books. King Spawn. You got Doctor Strange. That's a new one. Doctor Strange of Asgard. Red Hulk. Thunderbolts. Doomstrike. This one should be fun. This actually, I'm going to pull this up. Godzilla versus X-Men. Come on, folks. I mean, just look at that. I'll even pull up the screen a little bigger. There you can go. See it nice and big there. Really good artwork. My kind of stuff. Let's see what else they've got. They got some other covers. That's the great thing about this, is that they will actually show you the other covers, the variant covers for these books as well. Pretty cool. I might actually have to go and pull this one at my LCS. If you are watching this and you don't know what LCS stands for, local comic book shop or local card shop, either works either way. So yeah, they're pretty cool looking covers. Definitely got the nice old school look with some of the stuff, and I really like this main cover. It's good looking. And they will give you the artists and the writers, letterers, colorist, editor of the book of what's going on. There's your editor in chief for Marvel right now, Tony Daniel. So that is the Tony Daniel cover right there. That one, this main one right here. This is the Tony Daniel cover. Very cool stuff. It looks really good. I'm gonna have to go pick that up. And then give you a little short shot here of all the you got your open order covers, and then you got your incentive covers. Now they recently changed this because they didn't used to do this. They didn't have them separated out like that. I like that though, that they can do that. And then you got people who are already discussing the book and what their thoughts are going to be on it. It'll give you key characters that are showing up in the books. Then you've got this trade paperback that they're already preparing for in the later months of this year. So then we'll go back. Now, for me, I'm a big fan of certain artists, not necessarily certain books. I do like to buy Spawn books, though, because I do like the story. I love the character of Spawn. I am a big X-Men fan. I grew up with reading the X-Men from the late 80s through the 90s and on. But a lot of what I buy, I'm more geared toward artwork than I am to story. Because a lot of the comic books I don't even read. I mainly buy comic books based on artwork. If the art is really nice and really good, I will buy the book. Some people are more into story and don't care about the art. So it's just your personal preference. Looks like we got a Gwenpool #1 coming out. So this will be interesting. Here's your writers, the artist, colorist, letterer, and editor of the book. Then you've got your variant cover artists, characters that will be appearing, and which Earth they are part of, which Marvel universe they are part of. If I'm not mistaken, I think even Jeff the Landshark is getting his own book or has his own book already. Let's see what we got. Oh, Todd Knock. So here's your main cover. And here's your variants. That's a nice little one. It gives you the 1 in 100. Then you got a 1 in 25. That's cool. I like that. I might have to try that for that one. Greg Land, very good cover there. So yeah, I may have to look at some of these for myself, just because. And then yeah, here's the Todd Knock one. That's a great cover. That's a really cool looking cover. And then there's the regular version of it. So yeah, definitely some fun stuff there. I've actually never read any of the Gwenpool stuff. She came around after I stopped collecting for a while. But really fun stuff. Now, if you want some of your more obscure books, keep scrolling down and you will get into a lot of the independent stuff. Black Ritual, I need to get that. This is part of the Spawnverse. I have the issue #1, but I have yet to read it. I need to go back and read that, though. You got some of the Zenescope books, Dark Horse, Vault Comics, The Cold Witch, A Tale of the Shrouded College. That looks pretty interesting. You got Lady Death, for those who are loving the Lady Death. Sworn Nation. There's a new Lady Death book coming out. Then you got it's a different. So this is a variant of the new Absolute Batman. You got the second printing of the all new #5 Clayton Crane book, Clayton Crane cover. Very cool. I might have to pick that up myself. And here's there's a Zenescope, Grim Fairy Tales. Sorry. They got Thundercats, Dynamite. Dynamite has been doing a lot of former cartoons from the late '80s and early '90s. They've been turning them into comic books. I know that you got Thundercats, you've got Darkwing Duck. I even saw Silverhawks. It's down here. You got Silverhawks. It's only up to issue 3, so that just came out this year. They did a bunch of villain books for the Disney villains. Maleficent, Scar, Hades, I believe the Evil Queen, and a couple others got their own comic book. So very cool. And there's a variant of the new Battle Beast issue. Everybody's all over these Mark Spears covers. So you got a Captain Planet and the Planeteers #1. And there's your Darkwing Duck one. There's another Grim Fairy Tales one. So it's just whatever you're into. And then unfortunately, some of these books, depending on how obscure they are and how very independent they are, you won't have your cover art. But most of these you will see cover art for this comic book that is coming out. Here's a Youngblood manga edition #1. I believe this is a reprint, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look, but I know that there was a Youngblood #1 that came out that sold really quick because it was just an update, and everybody loves. I love Youngblood, and I love Rob Liefeld, great artist, one of my favorites from when I was growing up. Still is one of my favorites. There's another second printing of the Carlos Gomez all new Venom #5. So that's 2 second printings from covers for all new Venom issue #5. But yeah, it just depends on what you're interested in. Oh, look at that Toxic Avenger. That actually is pretty cool. I might have to check that out as well. With the new Toxic Avenger movie coming out, so obviously the comic book is going to come out, and they're going to get more try to get more publicity for the Toxic Avenger. And just the new Witchblade. I have yet to get into that yet. One of these days, I'll get back into collecting comic books heavier. Right now, I'm just kind of doing the Hush, the new part 2 of Hush, in the Batman book. So it's a struggle for me because I like to collect so many books because of the artwork. Because there's a lot of artwork that I like, and I can get myself into trouble by just buying like 40 books a week, which is not economically sound or financially sound. So I try to limit myself right now. I'm sticking with the Batman Hush Part 2 because it's one of my favorite artists. I love Jim Lee. There we go. So that's the new list of comic books that are coming out for May 14th of 2025. If you want to get a better look at everything, if I didn't touch on every single book, go to League of Geeks, check it out for yourself. I'm sure there's other websites that you can go to. A lot of comic book shops, though, I know are having issues getting stock in because of what happened with Diamond. So maybe I don't know if your comic book shop will have all of these books. Of course, comic book shops order based on what their clientele is looking for. So if you see something on here, let your LCS know, and they can look to see about ordering this stuff for you. Now, it's too late for them to get it in for this week because all of these orders would have had to have been filled last month. So, but you can always go and check eBay, check, local comic book stores, websites, or, eBay's probably your best. Just be careful with what you're getting because you don't want to pay too much for a brand new book. Look for reputable resellers or even reputable comic book shops who are selling stock on eBay as well. Usually you'll find your newer books for cover price and free shipping. So sometimes some people will take a book and think it's going to be like super huge and they'll jack the price up, and you can still get it for cover price if you just do a little bit more research, do a little bit more looking. New books do not need to be selling for ridiculous amounts of money just because of the cover, unless it's a incentive cover like a 1 in 100 or 1 in 50 or 1 in 25. Those prices will be a little higher because they're less printed. I hope some of this helps you guys. I'm going to try and do this every week. I'll show you the list of what's coming out, highlight a few books, and you guys can go and check out what you want if you want more going on and checking out the League of Geeks yourself. And just hit up your shops, and like I said, if it's something that you like, let them know, and I'm sure they'd be willing to work out, get things ordered for you. I didn't touch on every book. If you want to know more, if you see something specific that you want to go look at, check out League of Geeks website. You don't have to pay. It is free to sign up. But if you pay, you don't get all the pop-up ads, and it's actually not that bad. It's I think like $50 for a year subscription. So it's not bad at all. And you can catalog your books. You can set up your poll lists. You can even calculate how much you're spending every week on your comic books, which is where I got in trouble. So check it out. Have fun. Get in touch with your local comic book shops if you want if there's something on here that you're looking for, maybe they can get it ordered for you, or check eBay. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe. Most important, please subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more people I can reach. Please comment. What comic books are you into? Do you buy comic books for story or art? Or do you do it for both, which is very hard sometimes, depending on the art that you like and the story. So yeah, just share it out, hit that notification bell so you know I know something new, and I will see you all next time, and thank you again. I am Juju. See you all later.